Hi guys, hi. How are you all doing? Welcome to another episode of the Sessions with Amy K podcast. And I know it has been forever. Forever. It has been a while since I said okay, I want to do an episode and whatever. But yeah, I'm back like I never left. I hope so. I hope I don't like stop again and all that. But I'm back like I never left. Honestly, we are putting in the work. We are doing the do, and yeah. So let me see if I can give you guys like a little. So let's see if I can give you a bit of an update on what has happened so far. Sorry, I'm currently finding myself because I'm hot. I'm just hot, and I can't put on my fan because I don't want it to interfere with my audio and everything. Because I'm doing the most with what I have, so I need to make my work as easy as possible. What updates can I give you guys? A lot has happened. I think the last time I read an episode was 2024. We're in 2026 now. That's 2 years. A lot has happened. I graduated uni. I did my NYC. I'm working now, a certified 9 to 5er, which is like, oh my god. Let me put a disclaimer or a caveat. I don't know what they call that word, but I am so grateful for the work I have. I am like, oh my god, every day I'm like, thank you God, thank you Jesus, because I know how it was when I didn't have a job, and I know how I was already killing myself for like just like 1 month after NYC. I know how I was going into depression because I didn't have a job. So I am very grateful for this job without a single iota of doubt. But oh my god, 9 to 5, what the heck, bro. Like, I have a newly found or a newly acquired respect for my father, because I remember when I was younger, I would see my dad go to work by like 4 a.m 5 a.m, and he's coming back by 12 in the night. Like, it was a period that I didn't see my father on weekdays. Like, before I wake up, my father has left the house. Before, like, my dad comes back after I go to sleep. Like, I'll just hear him like when I'm in that state of sleep and awakeness, and I'm like, oh, daddy has come back, and sometimes around like 12, that kind of thing. So that time I didn't really understand it, but now, oh my god, I have a deep respect for him. This man, like, he tried. Also, like, dad's birthday is coming up, and I'm thinking of what to do. Me and my mom are thinking of what to do, which we don't really know, because it doesn't really, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. I just hope I can, like, do something cool. I'm thinking of what to get him for the birthday. It doesn't really, it's not like, there's nothing that, I don't know, when you want to give somebody a birthday gift, you're like, okay, it has to be something thoughtful, like, okay, what would this person appreciate and everything. Like, my father would say that, as long as you pray. Like, you do something for my pops man, and he'll be like, as long as you pray and read the Bible, I'm happy. That's the only thing that'll make me happy. Like, that's the thing that'll make him happy. I will pray and read the Bible, and I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for nothing. Like, I don't know, like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, I should go and buy you my prayer and my Bible. Like, what? So yeah, I was still thinking. I told my mom that she should cook him soup, because that's the only thing that I know that you don't talk say, oh, he likes freshly made soup with plenty meat and fish. So I think that's what we just do. I was thinking of buying a cake, but we're just three in the house. My brothers are not around, so who's going to eat the cake? I'm trying to like watch my weight so I can't indulge like that. My parents don't eat sugar and everything, so the cake might just be a waste of money. So yeah, but that's that. So for the topic of today's, okay, before I get into why I picked up this mic today, right, I was listening to Jola and FK's podcast. I said what I said, and oh my god, you guys, that podcast is amazing. I don't know why I am just getting to it. I don't know, because I'm like, why, how am I just like getting on this train? Like, those women are amazing. Like, they are amazing. Like, I love the podcast so much. I love FK, I love Jola. It's like, I'm laughing. Like, oh my god, those women are amazing. Like, I don't know, I don't know if I should explain. It's like, I think I love it from what I've listened to so far, because obviously I don't know them personally, But from what I've listened to so far, I just love the embodiment of who they are. Because I'm someone that just believes in unapologetically being yourself, and it just feels like those women are themselves. They are not pretending for nothing, for nobody. On today's episode, like, there were these babes that came and said that, oh, they are dating a guy and they don't really like him. Like, two different babes talking about they're dating a guy and they are not like physically attracted to, and they are just dating him. I don't know what's okay, Nico, which is very crass behavior, honestly. Like, if you don't like somebody, why would you lead them on like that? Why would you date them? See, let me just go off topic a bit. I feel like the average Nigerian child knows how annoying it is knows how frustrating it can be to live with your parents, or your parents annoy you and all that. So when I knew started working, like, I was in that phase that, okay, I want to go get my own place, I'm earning salary now, so only for my own place. Kiniko. Mind you, I was staying in Benin before. So with the salary that I earn, I can comfortably get a house in Benin City. So I kind of like took that mentality because I'm in Lagos. So I kind of like brought that mentality to Lagos, like, okay, just have like 500k somewhere, and then I'll get a house, a self-con, nice place. I said house one thing. I was like, okay, I want to look for a house in Bagada, Surulere. I didn't say Kejak, but I'm okay. I'll go for a house in Bagada, Surulere, maybe First Stack. Live a big girl life. Hey! What my eyes see. What my eyes see. I humbled myself. I said, my brother not pursue me. I'm not pursuing myself. I humble. These people were saying self-con, like one small corner room, put your bed, you want everything, one place, kitchen, bedroom, 1 million naira, and that's just rent. That is just rent. They'll still add light and all that. I said, you are who? With which salary? I think my father did not pursue me. I'm not at home. I just humbled myself once. You know, God has always has a way of humbling us. I was like, maybe there's a bitch like I can do me, a babe like me. I'm humbled. I'm humbled in my father's house now. I'm very humbled. Okay, so back to Jola and FK. They're talking about, like, so yeah, these babes, and they were like, oh, they're dating people that they don't really like and they're not attracted to. One even went as far as to say that she always talks about how she does not like her man in front of her friends, to the point that her friends now insult her man, like, which is girls now, they do, like, honestly speaking, I know that, like, guys or babes, they do, like, what do you mean by that? Like, you don't really like somebody, but then you're just leading them on. Why would you do that to somebody? Like, for real, why? So I was just like waiting to see what Jola and FK would say, and those babes did not disappoint me. I was like, yes, yeah, like they called them out, like, what you're doing is rubbish, that is witchcraft, that's wickedness, that's evil, which it is, it's evil. So I think there was something else that they did. I was like, oh my god, bottom line, I love those babes. Bottom line, yeah. So I want to talk about something that was said in this episode that I just finished listening to. I literally just come back from work, still in my work clothes and everything. So I was just like, I listen to them almost every day right now. So I was listening to them, their latest episode, and towards the ending, they were talking about their think deal breakers, right? And Jola was like, when a man doesn't take what she does seriously, and it's this idea of maybe, you are with a man that is established to some extent. He may not even be established anyways, and then but just because he doesn't take what you are doing seriously, he now like looks down on it. And I feel like men do this a lot. We're like, it's not just your hair business, that your hair business, that your clothing business, that your clothing business, that your this one, that nonsense. I hate it so much. I remember when I started doing content creation, and there was this guy. I was not even dating him, just messing around. And then he came to my room, and he was like, oh, how was it? What I've been doing? And at that time, I just like got into content creation, so I was learning how to make carousels. And I actually spent the entire day, almost the entire day, making one carousel on Canva. And so I was like really excited because it eventually came out well. So I told him that, oh, I've been working on this carousel and it took me a while, but like I'm very happy I did it. And this nonsense boy opened his mouth and was like, is it not just this ordinary thing? I was like, I can't remember verbatim what I said, but I know that I was hurt. And I know that I did not say what I really wanted to say or what I wish I'd have said. I'm probably like, are you mad? Is something okay? Look at my house, like, even though, yeah, that's not a Christian way to respond. So, yeah, whatever. No, whatever. Yes, that's not a Christian way to respond. Don't respond that way. We are Christians here. We love Jesus here. We try to do right here. But I think I was just more hurt and more like, I just entered into a shell, like, oh, and I just like closed, because I was showing on my laptop. Because I was showing on my laptop, just like, just shrunk, and like just take it in, just close my laptop and just like brush it off and everything. I think that just automatically became one thing I look out for when a man is not supporting what I do at whatever level I'm doing it. If you are not supporting whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm trying to work at, I'm not even dealing with you. Like, I'm not even going to try and deal with you. I'm just like, okay, this is how you are, no problem, bye. Because when we are in a relationship, I would need that support. I would need that encouragement when things get hard and tough. And if you don't if you don't take what I'm doing seriously, then you will not be bringing me down. And as I'm trying to push myself over here, sorry, no, I'm not doing no. But that was the other thing that I really got from that podcast. So anyway, on to today's topic. There's this thing that has been trending on Twitter, a very toxic place, about taking a woman's last name. Sorry, taking a man's last name, excuse me. Taking a man's last name, and there was this tweet that blew up about how this babe was like, she didn't take, after she got married to her man, she didn't take her man's last name immediately, and the man would refuse to send her money. And in the name of, oh, I will only send money to my wife's account, not quote unquote. He now called her father's name, and like, let's say her father's name is Toyosi, not Toyosi's daughter. And the people was not like, that even when he wants to give her cash, he won't give her the full cash and everything. And according to her, she was like, oh, he was showing her shiggy that nobody had to tell her twice that she now went to go and change the name. It was like, because he told her that when she does the needful, kiniko, and it wasn't even about what she said, as it was about how she said it. It was like, I really wish I can explain this perfectly. There is this way a lot of Nigerian women see take being with a man, whether being married or in a relationship, whatever, just being with a man, having a partner. There's this, I like to think of it as archaic. It's this archaic way because it is deeply embedded in the tradition of our ancestors, our elders, our parents, our grandparents. This way of like, the more, God help me, the more you can suppress yourself, the more you can endure, the more you can eat shit, the better partner as a woman that you are. So it was this way that she said it, that, oh, like almost like with an air of pride that, oh, I want to go and quickly do the needful, like nobody needs to tell me twice. Like she was proud. But in my mind, I'm like, no man that genuinely loves you would do that kind of thing to you. And people were trying to make her know this, and she was like, oh, these feminists have come again, blah blah blah, that's why you cannot get married, that's why you're that's why you're single, like she was just in this defensive mode of blah. And it's like, in her head, she was the perfect wife, right? But the fundamental truth, right, and I mean that this is the fundamental truth in the sense that when it comes to what love is fundamentally, at its roots, right, what that man did was not right. Like, there is no justice. Because see, the way I thought about it was that this money that this baby is asking for is probably for the house. It's probably for to cook, for upkeep, whatever. So are you saying that a woman is less of your wife? And see, that's the crazy thing. It's not even that she didn't take his last name. Oh. It's not even that she said that, oh, I don't want to take your last name. It was not even that. So I'm guessing that she had probably taken his last name. The issue was now she had not just changed it in her accounts, right? And simply because of that, you now, in a way, withhold sustenance or like, you know, upkeep or resources from her. Like, to me, that is just diabolical, bro. Like, people, they endure things like maybe, and I feel like truly in her head, maybe she just was not enduring it, just normal. Like, I don't really know how best to explain how messed up that is, because at the fundamental of what love is, that is not right. How is it you not give your woman money because she knows? Nobody say she not even take your name. Oh. She took your name. She has taken your name just because she had not yet changed her accounts. As how now? What's happening, man? What's happening? And so, like, you know, there was now this, you know, because the woman was really prideful, and everybody I was talking against was like, these angry feminists have come again, this single. So it was like it now turned to, you know, joke and like, I need to go and change my I need to go and change my certificates in my secondary school, those kind of thing. Like, not turned to banter and like fun. But I just kept thinking about it, like, and I just it made me wonder, like, with guys, what exactly is this obsession that men have, or that some men have with this change of name thing? Because I personally feel like if I was a man, I don't think I would be so bothered if a woman doesn't take my name, honestly speaking. Like, if I had a woman, if I was a man, and I had a woman that I know that this woman loves me, I know that this woman has my back, like, she is my ride or die, this is a good woman, this is the woman for me. If she tells me that, oh babe, I don't want to take your last name, I think I want to keep my father's name, or I want to hyphenate, I don't see myself spazzing or feeling like, oh, does this woman really love me, or kiniko. I think the most I would do is like, oh babe, why? What's your reason? I really want to know your reason. That is that you don't, you know, I want to know where your mind is at. And if she tells me something that is reasonable, and I'm like, okay, yeah, babe, obviously it's your life. Like it's your life, but if you feel that that's what you want to do, like, I don't believe I would have a problem with it, if I'm being very honest. So, like, out of just sheer curiosity, I sent it on my status, and like, okay, just talking to men or asking men, now what exactly is you guys deal with this whole last name change thing? And so I engaged one of my friends in the conversation, and we're talking, and at the end of the day, like, my conclusion was that this thing is just tradition. It's just, just thing that you just say, just do it because that's how it was done, and blah 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 blah. It is just African tradition, like it is just what was handed down to us. Because even in the Bible said, the man shall leave his home and cleave to his wife. The man would cleave to his wife. So even if you want to come from the biblical aspect, because the ones where they sin, the ones who don't believe in God, one that is atheist, they always love to quote, a woman should be submissive and blah 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 blah. But let's check the Bible. The Bible said the man would leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. So if the man is leaving and cleaving to his wife, who should really be taking whose last name? Honestly, who should take whose last name? And in fact, my bother, right, is not even the whole last name thing. What bothers me is, why is it such a big deal if you truly love someone? Like, why would you punish someone in that way because to you they hadn't taken your last name, or they hadn't changed some documents with their last name, and it just doesn't sit well with me. Like, I personally feel like if my husband is overly bothered about me taking his last name, I'll just be like, that's not my man. Just is it like, it's just not right. And the person I was having a conversation with spoke about this thing about autonomy, and people that are married shouldn't care about autonomy, but I don't really 100% believe that that's true, right? I don't think that the fact that I'm married doesn't mean that I would now in all ways and form want to take your autonomy from you, right? There are some things that are, obviously, there's some things that goes without saying, right? I cannot tell you that you cannot check my phone. You cannot come and tell me that I cannot check your phone. Like, even though, yeah, it's your phone, but as how now, right? But there are just some things that I feel like doesn't really have any solid grounding to making that marriage work, to making the relationship work. And that's really my point. Is like, the fact that this woman even takes your last name does not stop her from being the worst wife the worst wife this earth has ever seen, right? So if that thing doesn't actually really and truly guarantee a good, happy, long-lasting marriage, then like, it might, like, the way it is in my head is like, it's just not a big deal. Like, bro, even if I say that, okay, I don't want to take my husband's last name, and personally I don't really have an opinion. I don't know if I want to take my husband's last name. I don't know if I want to keep my name. I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like I can take my husband's last name, I can keep my name, I can hyphenate, I can say, babe, let's have a new name altogether and feel like a new generation. It's like, the options are limitless. Like, what's the bother? I love you. Let's get married. Let's do this life thing together. I'm committed to you. I'm never gonna cheat on you. I'm never gonna do anything to break our bond. Let's get this ball rolling. Which one is because you not take name and I not take my what? Why? Right? And so I think what really bothers me is that fundamentally this thing does not even have any real concrete ground that, okay, oh, this thing would make a relationship work. Me, I feel like for men it's just ego to a large extent. Like ego and blindly following tradition. Honestly speaking, I believe it die that for a lot of men it is just ego and just blindly, it is a tradition that fuels the man's ego. And I really feel like this is what happens when we have a culture of not questioning tradition, and we just allow tradition to just override our sense of thinking, our sense of self, our consciousness and awareness of, okay, why are we actually doing this thing that we are doing? The guy that I was conversing with was now, he brought up a point that, okay, that if the man is saying that she doesn't take her husband's last name, then what about bride price? And I thought, like, bro, I don't get what that bride price thing is. Like, I don't understand. Are you buying me? You want to buy me? You cannot buy me. Money no day where you go buy me. Buy me. Money they've never made the money. Money is not here on this earth. Like, you cannot buy me. So there was a point where my pops man said something that I was so pissed by, and I told him, like, Daddy, you're not collecting bride price on my head. I'm like, bro, anything that you want, tell me, I will give you. I'll pay for it and I'll give you. Nobody's going to come and say that they bought me, because you bought me as how? How did they buy me? Like, how? Like, wait, how much money is enough money to buy me? You buy me care? How? Right? So even the idea of bride price, doesn't make any sense. Man, it's like, these things are just traditions that we met, that we never questioned. I don't know where the idea of bride price came from. It doesn't make sense to me. You cannot buy me. You cannot buy a human being. Is this slave trade? Are we doing slave trade? Am I a laborer? What is that you bought me? How? Where? When? So it's like, a lot of these things are things that we just met, that we never question. We never be like, okay, does this thing really make sense? Do I really want this for myself? Like, I would not want to marry a man, right, that because I don't take his last name, he now feels like he can treat me anyhow, or he can treat me less, or I don't really love him, or that kind of thing. Like, or a man that will now say that, oh, because he paid my bride price, he can now treat me anyhow, he now owns me. Like, it just doesn't make sense in my head. Like, it just makes zero sense. So when I was just going through the comments and going through people that were supporting that one, I was like, oh more, we have a long way to go, because even fellow women were saying a lot of crazy things. That your man owns you, that whatever you get married, whatever you have is not your man, that you must sign everything to him. Okay? In this age where men are taking women for filth, right? By the grace of God, we all have good. We all meet good men. We all have, lovely marriages. Amen. But the reality is that women are going through not even just women, people are going through a lot of things. Like, there was this post on the internet. This white woman, she was lamenting, like, not even lamenting, she was just like, I feel like she was just in a state of shock, because she was speaking so calmly. You know when you've gone through something, you're like, it's just like shock that you don't even know how to react. That was how I saw that woman. Like, she was just in a state of shock. And she was talking about how she was a housewife and how she just let her husband do everything because she trusted him and she loved him and everything, and now she has kids for him. And it's like, she has nothing to her name. Bottom line, she signed a prenup, and in the prenup she literally signed every single thing away, including child support. Like, child support, that is a staple, that she just trusted him and she didn't read anything. And how many years, I think it was 5 or was it 5 and even 3 some years down the line, he's asking for a divorce. She has kids. I think she has 3 kids. She doesn't have any dollar to her name. Even the house that she was like, she helped build, she designed, and she doesn't have, she has 0 to her name, because she just completely trusted this person. I'm not saying don't trust your man. I just go beg you, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't trust your man, but how do I put this? See, it's better to have it and not need it than to not have it at all. Let me put it that way. It is better to have it and end up not needing it than to not have it at all. Nobody prays for the worst to happen. Nobody. Everybody wants to have good life, happy this one, and joys and balloons and butterflies everywhere. But that's not life. That's not how life goes. That's not what happens. That's just fact. That's reality. And I just hate this thing where women fail to see reality, and they just want to see what they want to see. They just believe that they're just going to experience what they have in their head. That, oh my God, I wish we can all experience what we have in our heads. Me, I want to experience what I had in my head. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 breakers, I'm like, okay, I need to start thinking logically. I need to start using the brain that God gave me. I need to stop switching this thing off because of man. Right? It's like, I don't even get what I'm saying. I feel like I've gone off tangent there, but like, it's still it's still a bit intertwined. So back to the whole change of name thing, and I'll round up soon, don't worry. I don't know how many minutes I've done here, but it's like, for the men, I find you should really question why a woman not taking your name really bothers you. If you have a good woman and everything, like, why should her not taking your name really bother you? And what I'll say is this: if you sit down by yourself, I'm like, this thing is a deal breaker for me. I don't want to be with a woman that doesn't take my last name, or I don't want to be with a man that insists I take my last name, right? I would advise you, to whoever you want, you're talking, getting to know, sit down and talk with them. Like, don't wait until it's inside the marriage. You're not saying that, hey, it's not giving you money again, or it's not doing it's not behaving, moving mad because of one thing that you guys didn't talk about in the dating stage. Don't be that person. Like, don't go through that. That woman is coming on here to be like, oh, I'm a good wife and whatever, but I am sure that thing was so painful to know that this person that you married can punish you in that way. Once again, I am repeating, I truly believe that that woman took that man's last name. I truly believe it. The issue was that she had not just changed her bank documents, which is wild. I don't want to get aggravated today, this night. Let's conclude. Let's not be a good one. Let's not rant. Let's be calm and chill. Because why? Okay, calm down. No. Where was I? So the thing is that if that thing is a deal breaker for you, talk on time. Let not be that when you guys are already deep. They are now realizing something and you're like, and it's not causing issue. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to like I've learned my don't worry, Happy is here, we're here, don't worry, we'll talk. If you know that that is a deal breaker for you, taking your last name, keeping last name, talk about it too. Talk about it. Even though personally I don't understand the force, I don't get the force, I just feel like it is just mindless tradition. But who am I to judge anyone? So if you feel like that thing is really obonge, like it's very deep for you, please, I'm begging you, talk about it with the person that you are interested in. Hash it out at the beginning so that later they're not gonna be doing you wickedness in the name of you have not done the needful. Cool. With these few points of mine, I hope I'll be able to convince you and not convince you that whatever you get from this episode is what you take home. I don't know. That's so random. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know your thoughts. I really want to hear more people's thoughts about this whole taking of name thing. If you are a guy and you are listening to this, I promise you I am open, I'm all ears. Why exactly is this thing such a big deal for you guys? Like, why? Like, giving. Because I know I talked to one guy and he was like, whether you take my name, whether I don't take my name, as long as you are a good babe to me, as long as you love me, let's do this thing. Which I feel like is a normal thing to do. I feel like that's a sensible thing. Like, we're in 2026 for crying out loud. These are traditions that we don't even know where the concept of this thing came. We don't know that some 500 years ago, it was actually that men were taking yes, it was actually that men were taking women's life. We don't know. I feel like I know that I've seen that there are some places that it's a matriarchal society, so the men take the women's names. So you don't know that maybe 500, 700 years ago it was women that were taking. It was men that were taking women's names. You don't know where this thing came from, but you don't carry on top of your head like say, why do like that? Why you do that? Why? Anyhow, to each his own. Sha, you hear what I said? If you know that that's your thing, talk about it too. Let them go and not be doing you kiniko inside the marriage. God help everybody. Happy. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please stay tuned. I'm going to do my best to be releasing more podcast episode. Let me tell you guys why. In fact, let this be. In fact, yeah, I want to talk about one very, very serious thing. Over the course of the past month, this week, I've been seeing more things encouraging me to do more in my life. And I think I want to pass that on to you. Do more with your life. If you feel in your heart that you are made for more, that there's just still more. It might not even be that, oh, you're going to be the next Elon Musk or the next richest person in the world or the next, big. But if you just feel like I can really be doing more with my resources, with my talent, with my time, I'm putting it forward because it has really been like people's content. People's content on this has been coming to me. So I think this is me paying it forward. If you really feel like you can just be doing more, please, I'm begging you, do more. Whatever I need to do, pray, fast, whatever I need to do. And you may not even need to pray and fast, which is praying and fast is wonderful. But you may not even need to pray and fast. You may just be like me that you just started something and then you just kept it. Like this podcast, I started and I just kept it. And just, it may be there's something that you just kept because of maybe laziness, maybe it wasn't working out. Pick it back up. Do more. My friend said, and he's going to be on this podcast soon, hopefully. Yes, what was hopefully you'll be on this podcast. But he said something. He said, God didn't bring you this far to bring you this far, right? So there's more. Find out what your more is, and then do something with it. Don't just let it die with you, right? He said, die empty. So yeah, just passing it forward, just in case you've been feeling that nudge to do more, to be more. You can do it. I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you in our next session. Bye. I love you. Mwah.